Thank you, fellas, from Milan Puskar Stadium. It's the Big 12 on ESPN. A couple of 4 and 6 teams looking for a little hope at the end of this season, which has not gone their way. Texas meets West Virginia. Can they put the sad girl autumn vibes behind them before the onset of winter? Good afternoon, Anish Shroff, Mike Golick Jr., Taylor McGregor down on the sidelines. So here's the situation. Two teams that are 4 and 6, they have to win out to be bowl eligible, and there's no margin for error.
And means a lot to both teams in different ways, right? For Neal Brown in this program, they talked about at the beginning of the season how important the Liberty Bowl was last year in washing the bad taste out of their mouth. And for Steve Sarkisian in Texas, year 1 of program building, that extra time under task of bowl practice, invaluable for where you're at.
Texas mired in a 5-game losing streak, its longest losing streak since 1956. Rock bottom last week with a home loss to Kansas. West Virginia 2-5 in league play and losers of 2 straight. Texas won the toss, the Longhorns defer, and West Virginia will receive. The Mountaineers will take it out at the 25-yard line. Their quarterback, Jarret Doege, has been a lightning rod for this fan base. He leads the Big 12 in pass attempts. He's made some plays downfield, but he's also been intercepted more times than any other Big 12 quarterback, and he leads the league in sacks. Taylor, you talked to him. How is he dealing with the criticism and being this polarizing figure?
He told me it's all about keeping perspective. He grew up a fan of Texas Tech, and he remembers watching quarterback Graham Harrell, a Heisman finalist, deal with this criticism. And his dad told him, if you want to be a Division I starting quarterback, you have to deal with the good and the bad.
And a good start for Doege, finding the freshman Caden Prather, who came on last week. 4 catches in the loss to Kansas State, all of which went for first downs. And prior to that game, he had just 3 catches on the season. So after a 23-yard pickup, the Mountaineers empty it out. Doege back to the air, back to the sideline, and it's incomplete. Wanted Leddie Brown, the running back. This West Virginia offense, they've got to take care of the ball. Turnovers have been a huge problem all season.
17 turnovers, most in the Big 12 this year. Jarret Doege is at his best when he's getting the ball out decisively and when he's getting the ball into the hands of number 4, Leddie Brown, in that backfield, one of the best runners in the Big 12.
Reese Smith in motion. Back to the air. And a first down, Bryce Ford Wheaton. He had a big game in the Iowa State win, a gain of 13. Little extracurriculars on the sideline. This Texas defense, Mike, missing a key player at every level. Demarion Overshown, their leading tackler, is out today. Jacoby Jones, their best pass rusher, he's been out for the season. And now you're down Josh Thompson, your best cover corner, also out for the year.
It's been a difficult run, and tackling, like you saw on that last play, a huge part of Texas's woes this year.
Screen to Leddie Brown, and he fights his way inside the 35 of Texas.
Anish, Pete Kwiatkowski and this Texas defense sit back and play a lot of cover two. If you've watched the NFL, any of the Kansas City Chiefs, you've heard about that being used to take away big plays for an offense. So what have we seen for West Virginia to start this game? Relying on the quick and intermediate passing game to try and move the ball downfield.
Texas told us they had to be wary of the screen. Pressure off the edge. Doege gets rid of it, finds Brown, who makes the catch. Only got a yard. He stepped out of bounds right at the 34-yard line. You saw where Jarret Doege can sometimes get into trouble. That clock in his head. Sometimes the pressure comes. Even if he has time, he's not decisive.
And that's when we talked to their offensive coordinator, Gerad Parker, about getting him to just turn the ball loose on time when he sees it. And part of that is this 4 and 5 wide sets where the picture of defenses gets spread out.
3rd down and 5, likely 4-down territory from here. Little RPO action. And that is Sam James for another Mountaineer first down. And a good-looking opening drive continues after a gain of 11.
They motion the running back as we see a player down for the Longhorns right now.
It's Deshaun Jamison, and remember, he's their other starting corner. Josh Thompson is out. Texas has a little more depth in the defensive backfield, but Jamison also a big part of their special teams play. He's a weapon in the punt game and the kick game.
One of just 5 players in Texas history with a punt return and a kick return touchdown. Huge.
While they attend to Jamison, we step aside. The Mountaineers on the move early on. 6 straight pass plays for West Virginia. We expect to see a heavy dose of Leddie Brown now inside the 25. In the 3 FBS wins, he's been terrific, like the first-team all-conference rusher he was last year. In the 6 losses, West Virginia has struggled to run the football.
He's the leader and the heart and soul of this rushing attack.
And he gets his first carry and bottled up for a loss. Jalen Ford making the tackle. A loss of a yard by the second-year freshman who has loads of potential.
And going to be one of the guys tasked with replacing DeMarvion Overshawn. You see him show up on tape a lot. Fast, athletic, going to be a factor as they get to third downs and trying to manufacture a pass rush for a Texas defense with only 16 sacks this season.
There's Brown again. He's been fighting through some injuries as well. Up to the 20-yard line, it sets up 3rd down and 6. Both of these teams banged up, short-handed. There is a last man standing feel to this ball game.
It's been a war of attrition on both sides for these guys, and you're going to see West Virginia again spread things out for Jarret Doege here. Try and get some motion to see if you can identify man or zone as coverage shrinks down in the red area.
West Virginia just 25% on 3rd downs in its last 2 games. Doege to the air, over the middle, it's caught by James. Touchdown, West Virginia. Neal Brown put that opening drive in the hands of his much maligned quarterback, and Jarret Doege goes 6 for 7 and finds James for a touchdown.
And we saw exactly what we were looking for in this. Using motion before the play, no one runs with the motion man, so you know you've got zone. And then with 2 high safeties, you've got to attack the middle of the field here. That ball comes out on time to Sam James, splitting those safeties and giving him a great run after catch chance for the touchdown.
Casey Legs PAT is good. 9 plays, 75 yards in less than 4 minutes. This is a ball game where you do wonder going in, how much do these teams have left? Both teams have had gut-wrenching, excruciating losses. West Virginia comes out strong on Senior Day with a touchdown.
We mentioned the touchdown there. You saw no one runs with the motion man, so he's got zone coverage. He's got the 2 high safeties, and then he loves the matchup in the slot. Getting one of your better receivers matched up with Anthony Cook, who plays that star hybrid nickel role in there.
Is now wearing number 94
to run in
for
between
Texas.
these split safeties. This is what we talked about. Jarret Doege at his best. To your point, Anish, when he's not standing back there patting the football, saw it, identified with the clear picture, got them on the board.
Evan Staley kicking off for the Mountaineers. Backing for Texas, Deshaun Jamison and Roschon Johnson.
Evan Staley to kick it away. And here is Jamison. Lost it. Picks it up. Has the 20. Flag down. Jamison across the 30. Let's get the penalty.
Deshaun Jamison on the return for Texas. It's a flag on the play.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 18, return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Texas star running back Bijan Robinson out for the rest of the season after dislocating his elbow last week against Kansas. So they're going to rely on Roschon Johnson and Keelan Robinson to fill that void here today. Roschon will get a majority of the carries, between 15 and 18, which will be more than his season most of 13 in a single game. That's because he's been dealing with turf toe. But guys, he told me his body is ready to carry that extra workload today.
The Bijan Robinson injury, you can't understate it. He accounted for a third of Texas's scrimmage yards this season.
One of the best players in all of college football. Shame we won't get to see him today.
On first down, not much for Roschon Johnson. Into the embrace for Dante Stills, a loss of a yard. This running back room for Texas thinned out. Taylor mentioned Johnson coming back from an injury. Keelan Robinson did not play last week. He was in COVID protocol. And then Jonathan Brooks, who would have been the third back today, he's out.
Not a lot of depth back there, so going to be important to spread this ball out and make sure those carries are timely.
Casey Thompson's throw, it's caught. The tight end, Cade Brewer, he had the game-tying touchdown catch against Kansas at the end of regulation last week. Casey Thompson, in the loss to Kansas, accounted for 7 touchdowns. That tied a 106-year school record. Clyde Littlefield also accomplished the feat in 1915. To the outside, incomplete for Xavier Worthy. The standout freshman was targeted 23 times last week, and it's 3 and out for Texas.
Great start for this West Virginia defense. Steve Sarkisian throws a lot at you, calling the plays for this Longhorns offense here, trying to get the ball to their talented freshmen. And another 3 and out for this team, Anish. The last 4 games, 44% of their drives have gone for a 3 and out, the second worst in Power 5 in that span.
Isaiah Estale, back after missing 2 games, catches the Cameron Dicker punt, a 45-yard kick. West Virginia ball at its own 42. We pay tribute to a Mountaineer legend when we come back.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by Discover, exceptionally common sense.
Last week, the West Virginia football community lost a legend in Hall of Famer Sam Huff, who passed away. Former West Virginia lineman, a college football and pro football Hall of Famer. He played up front in the trenches with the Mountaineers, originally from the coal mines of Marion County. Goes to the NFL with the Giants initially, where Tom Landry was his defensive coordinator. And Landry had this wild idea. We have a 4-3 defense. Let's make Huff the middle linebacker, and he turned it into a glamour position. Garrett Green, 2 quarterbacks into the game, and West Virginia able to pick up a first down. Winston Wright, second in the conference in receptions. And the Mountaineers offense looking sharp early. And Sam Huff obviously loved and remembered in these parts. Finished his career with Washington, longtime color commentator on the radio broadcasts for Washington. More trickeration, and this time that turns into a huge loss. Back at the 35-yard line, Ben Davis, the Alabama transfer, with the stop. A loss of 16. A little too cute?
A little bit too much, and this is part of the danger. We hear all the time about programs scripting plays to start the game. You've got these drawn up all week. Your first drive went so well, and you think we're going to keep going to some of these things that we had planned here, when what you had last drive, spreading them out, dinking and dunking down the field, worked so well.
2nd and 26. Doege has room to run. Throws incomplete for Letty Brown, and you see how uncomfortable he is getting out of the pocket. The fans saw it too. There was a lot of room to run. Doege misses Brown, who was wide open as well.
Yep, had him streaking down the sideline. Jarret Doege certainly not at his best, rolling out of the pocket, getting on the move here. We saw that as evidenced by their strategy on the first drive. Now we're in screen territory, draw handoff to Leddie Brown with 3rd and a country mile up next.
The Mountaineers on their own 37. They need to get to the Texas 37. They'll run it to Brown, who's got a big hole across midfield. It'll bring up 4th down. Brendan Schooler, who's led Texas in tackles the last 2 games, with the tackle. And that trick play really sucked the momentum from an offense that had been moving downfield pretty easily against Texas.
Well, and you went back-to-back trick plays, right? Which you get that pass with Garrett Green first off from Jarret Doege. And so now the defense is on high alert after that, right? You're a little more aware of these trick situations. I question going for both in the same drive.
Sumter sends it away. The dangerous D'Shawn Jamison lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Let's check in with the studio.
Anish, Rocket Mortgage Studio update. Number 7, Michigan State. Number 4, Ohio State. Trevor Maddich, C.J. Stroud picking on that Sparty pass defense.
And they have not been going deep to start this game. They've been dinking and dunking, but that time they went vertical.
Chris Olave, 34th career touchdown catch, Anish.
All right, thank you, Kevin. 7-0 here, 7:36 to go. Second drive for Texas after a 3-and-out. And the Longhorns come out with 2 tight ends. Handoff Roschon Johnson. Not much there, a yard, and that's about it. Jackie Matthews came up to make the play. Without Bijan Robinson, how does this Longhorns offense change?
Well, I think they're going to have to pass to set up the run in a lot of ways in the East. You see them go with these 2 tight ends. Steve Sarkisian's going to move guys around with motions, but Xavier Worthy is now your most consistent player. You got to use his gravity to open up rushing lanes that way.
Casey Thompson on the move, pressure coming, and it's dropped by Jared Wiley. And another 3rd down coming up. We were told we would see Jordan Whittington, and he comes into the game 4 in white. This is where he was so crucial before missing the last 4 games with a broken collarbone. Texas's 3rd down struggles have been tied directly to the absence of number 4. He's back into the game, in motion, in the slot, top of your screen, closest to the line of scrimmage. Thompson's pass incomplete. He wanted Worthy. There were 3 blue jerseys around him, and it's 4th down.
Plenty of attention going to be paid to 8 in white. Saw Whittington used as a decoy to try and get Worthy the ball on the first drive here. And there's just no rhythm for this Texas offense right now. We saw the ball coming out of the hands on the other side for Jarret Doege. For Casey Thompson, nothing in the way of a comfort so far.
Dicker punts it away. Estill retreating to the 25. And tackled at the 30, penalty marker down.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 14. Return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
The penalty on Malachi Ruffin. 7-0 West Virginia, Mountaineer ball when we come back.
There's no doubt it's been a rough road for Texas the last couple of weeks, and this week players were asked why Steve Sarkisian is the guy for the job. Anthony Cook said it best. The messaging hasn't changed. It doesn't matter what's happening on and off the field. His messaging to us remains the same, and that's why the players are confident that this is the guy who can help turn this program around.
First season for Steve Sarkisian, and that is Winston Wright tackled for a loss at the 15-yard line. Pitchforks were out. Texas lost to Kansas last week. It's the one school anybody in the Big 12 can't lose to. 5-game losing streak. But there seems to be a belief. Listen, Steve Sarkisian isn't going anywhere in the short term. There's a lot of faith in him. That was reinforced from the athletic director earlier this week. They've lost a lot of players in their recruiting classes from 2018 and 2019. TJ Banks, the catch at the 20-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and long. You get the sense Texas can't keep firing coaches after 3 or 4 years. At some point, they're going to have to give somebody a bit of a leash here.
Well, especially in the transfer portal era, Anish, because now when those moves happen, it's easier for players to have a way to get out of this situation, which I understand. I went through a coaching change. I understand how much that changes life for everyone involved in all this, but now it also puts an even bigger onus on the staff to be able to replace a lot of those bodies that can move around.
Texas wants a timeout. It's granted. 3rd down and 8. Missing key players on defense, getting lined up. That was going to be a challenge this week. We remind you, a lot at stake in college football. You've got Ohio State, Michigan State this afternoon, and then tonight, Oregon and Utah. A lot of folks feel this trip to Salt Lake City is a trap for Oregon, and it could be loss number 2 for the Ducks.
Utah 3-point favorites in this game. But remember, Oregon, for all we've talked about with Joe Moorhead, that's a running group first here. Mario Cristobal's boys up front. Mahler's up for this challenge. That SMU-Cincinnati game, a big one as well down the stretch of the season, as the Bearcats still very much alive in this entire college football playoff scene.
SMU can put up points. Their quarterback is the former Oklahoma transfer, Tanner Mordecai. Look at Oregon and Utah, both 6-1 in their respective divisions in the Pac-12. On 3rd down, Jarrett Doege to the air, steps up, and it's incomplete.
Ruling on the field.
Monte James, who had the touchdown earlier. Schooler broke it up. It's 4th down. Sumter on to punt.
What a great answer for this Texas defense. You see so much too high that time. They went down, mixed in some man coverage, let these guys get physical with the wideouts, and now have a chance to really flip the field position game for an offense that's gone back-to-back 3-and-outs on their first 2 drives.
Jamison, one of the top return men in the country, waits at his own 40. Texas has a knack for blocking kicks. They ran into Sumter. Is it roughing or running into the kicker? Huge call here. Keelan Robinson came flying in for Texas. 2 flags down. If it's roughing, it's an automatic 1st down.
Anish, you mentioned it. Tied for the NCAA leads with 4 block punts. So they're not afraid to come after it, but high risk, high reward here.
And West Virginia had a punt blocked last week, which Kansas State recovered for a touchdown. Running into the kicker is only a 5-yard penalty. That would make it 4th and 3. Roughing, it's an automatic 1st down.
Running into the kicker, number 7, receiving team. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
So just running into there, and an interesting call. We know this is something that they do well, but based on having West Virginia backed up, and
is that running into the kicker or roughing?
See it again right here. Roughing usually reserved for that bottom leg here.
I'm with you.
In a lot of those situations. Hitting that top leg, it looks bad, especially in slow motion here. I think that's the right call, Anish. The punt block in that situation, an interesting question given where you look to get the ball field position-wise.
6 plays, 7 yards for Texas so far. Casey Thompson downfield, incomplete, dropped by Marcus Washington. He was wide open, and Washington coming off a career game, 5 catches, 100 yards against Kansas, including a blocked punt and a missed chance.
And you see him there. He has the double move. He's wide open to that side.
That's a play he's got to make.
But this has been Texas offense to start the games. Drops and inconsistency.
3 drops already by Texas. Thompson 1 out of 5. Screen pass to Worthy. And he has put up the best freshman season by a Texas wideout in school history. He has set the school freshman records for receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. In fact, he's 2 receiving touchdowns away from tying the school's single-season record for any player in any class.
Tying Jordan Shipley, a name known well around here. Let's look at Jordan Whittington at the bottom of the formation, singled up. One of their best third down players back this week.
Thompson looking to step up, and he is engulfed in a sea of gold and blue. And it'll bring up 4th down. Josh Chandler-Samito, the first to get in there. Second leading tackler in the Big 12, and another 3 and out for Texas.
And it looked like they were trying to set up at the bottom of this with George Whittington, one of those fake wide receiver screens, and then have him release downfield, but nothing there for Casey Thompson. And once the timing of that play is thrown off when you set up a specialty play, no bueno.
Fair catch made by Estelle at the 20 after a 41-yard punt. We kick it over to Kevin in the studio.
Yeah, and Anish, time for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Is Oklahoma out of the playoff mix? They can still play for a Big 12 title, Trevor, if Caleb Williams does this.
And this is an answer. I mean, Iowa State had a long grinding touchdown drive, and this is the second play of Oklahoma's opening drive, and they answer.
All tied at 7. Anish.
Oklahoma tumbled in the playoff rankings after a loss to Baylor last week. A season for the Sooners that's been filled with close escapes,
including against these 2 teams.
Yep. Prather, second catch of the game. He's got 3. They feel Caden Prather's got a chance to be special. A 6'4" true freshman. The injury to Estelle opened up some opportunities for Prather. Made the most out of it last week.
You see all the physical gifts here. 6'4", long body, but with a lot of these freshmen, and we've seen this on the offensive line with Wyatt Milam starting on the right side, they want to bring these guys along at a pace where they can digest everything this offense throws at them.
4-man pressure, throw to the outside, too high. He wanted Bryce Ford Wheaton, the 3rd-generation Mountaineer.
And we saw the simulated pressure right there. You bring that 4th body from the field, and Jarret Doege does what you're supposed to do. Throw into where that defender vacates, but got to be more accurate with the balls in this case. Now, let's see if Texas, again, gives their DBs a chance to go man-to-man here and maybe even bring a little pressure to get Jarret Doege off his spot.
Now, they told us they'd want to bring some pressure. It's a 4-man rush. Doege takes a shot downfield. Ford Wheaton extends and makes the catch.
Rolling on the field.
Those 2 really worked in the offseason on the deep ball. It's been much better than it was last year.
And Ford Wheaton does a great job stacking that defensive back, getting in front of him, using the arm not to push off, but to just clear a little space, almost like going up for a layup in basketball. And then the concentration on the other side, a huge break for this Mountaineer offense.
A pickup of 31. Letty Brown up the middle. A yard, maybe 2.
Hand off to Letty Brown.
When you think of this West Virginia team, you do think of Letty Brown first and foremost traditionally, but this season, it has been about those big plays here. Jarret Doege leads the Big 12 with now 37 completions of 20 or more yards. And these receivers, drops were a problem last year, starting to step up more and more as the season goes along.
2 running backs in the game. It's Brown with Tony Mathis. Letty Brown broke the initial tackle, still fighting, and it sets up a 3rd and 1. Something to watch in this game. West Virginia on the season only averages 1.7 yards after contact. That's 4th worst nationally. Now Texas gives up on average 3 yards after contact. That is 6th worst in the FBS. Something's got to give.
And it's an interesting chess match up front because what you're seeing, we know Steve Sarkisian, a lot of motion on that side. Neil Brown motioning some guys into the box to get them extra hats.
Mathis stays in on 3rd and 1. He gets the call and picks up the first down. One thing this coaching staff has wanted to do this year is take some pressure off of Leddie Brown. The problem is they really haven't found a consistent backup who can be productive.
And so it's now about finding different ways to get him touches. Also wanted to continue to develop him as a receiver. Already 30 receptions on the season, so certainly been a part of it, but just another way to get him the ball without as many tough hits up front running between the tackles.
Winston Wright in motion. Doege's throw incomplete for Prather. Yeah, to your point. Now sacks count against the run game in the statistics, but West Virginia is last in the Big 12 in rushing.
It just hasn't been as consistent up front as they want. They have a lot of trust in the interior 3 on their offensive line. Zach Frazier, who's a real program builder of a leader in the middle of that group. Doug Nestor, the transfer from Virginia Tech. It's on the edges for Brandon Yates on the left side, and Wyatt Milam, we mentioned, just a true freshman getting into now his 6th start.
On 2nd and 10, Brown on the cutback. Right to the line of scrimmage, met by that Texas roadblock. It sets up 3rd and long. Likely 4-down territory here inside the 35. And that may be the final play of quarter number 1. And Texas, for the 3rd straight game, will go scoreless in quarter number 1.
Try and see if you can get him to jump off sides here and get a cheap one.
This is the end. First quarter. Timeout on the field.
The Longhorns managed just 11 total yards in that first quarter. Jarret Doege slinging it early, 10 out of 15 for 108 yards, and a touchdown to Sam James. 7-0 West Virginia. The Mountaineers scored on their opening drive. Texas has gone 3 and out on all 3 of its drives. 3rd down and 10 to go. The Mountaineers inside the Longhorns' 35-yard line. Leddie Brown split wide, empty set.
Man coverage for Jarret Doege.
4-man rush on the slant. That's complete. First down and more. Isaiah Estelle, back after missing 2 games, picks up 17.
Great job identifying the matchup that you like there.
And DeMarvion Overshown makes the tackle. We were told he was not going to play. He's given it a go today, and hey, they get 60% of him out there as he goes to the sideline. That's a boost. He is their best linebacker, a unit that is thin, depth-wise and talent-wise.
Yeah, we talked about Jalen Ford and some of those other younger bodies out there, still learning how they fit in this defense. Overshown's presence out there just as much about the neck up as anything else.
Leddie Brown, B-Button's out of trouble. Took a big hit near the 15-yard line. We get a penalty marker.
DJ Foster with the tackle. Flag on the play.
Personal foul, targeting number 25, defense, leading with the front of his helmet. The previous play is under further review.
So that's B.J. Foster. And if the targeting is upheld, he would be ejected from the game. Foster is senior. We told you there's been some injuries in that secondary, namely Josh Thompson, their best corner, out for the season. Now, Brown in that case is not a defenseless player, so what you're looking for is leading with the crown of the helmet, and it's pretty clear from there that Foster led with the crown of the helmet.
And this is one of the difficult spots for me, Anish, because he leads with the crown of the helmet, but so does Leddie Brown as a rusher here. He's trying to go low in this spot here. Leddie Brown also dips here, and so that's the reason.
After review, There is no foul for targeting. First down.
Yeah, did Foster turn his shoulder? We couldn't quite tell from this angle.
I don't think you really had a launch or anything like that. He turned to the side enough. And again, I think Letty lowering his head to meet him is something we've got to start to consider.
Second down.
In a lot of these.
Second down.
So no targeting, the call reversed. It'll bring up second down. A gain of 2 on the play. Red zone opportunity for West Virginia. Tony Mathis in at running back. Esdale lined up at the top of your screen, number 9 in blue. Here's the blitz. Doege looking for Winston Wright. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Rolling on the field, a touchdown.
Boy, Jarret Doege has had some errant throws today, but when it's mattered down in the red area, these balls have come out on time. We'll make sure Wright got that foot down in the back of the end zone here. And that appears pretty clear. Possession, that right foot down before the corner pylon. What an outstanding corner ball heading towards that pylon from Jarret Doege.
A penalty before the kick.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 92, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
Gotta love the kicker matchup today. Casey the leg, and Dicker the kicker.
It's the stuff you dream about for the brand. Pat McAfee smiles somewhere in the distance.
14-0 West Virginia. 11 plays, 80 yards. Doege to Wright. Second touchdown pass for Jarret Doege today. Texas has lost 5 in a row. The last time that happened was 1956. That season, Texas lost 8 straight. They finished 1-9, the worst season in school history. Head coach Edwin Price resigned after the season, and the legendary Darrell K. Royal was hired in 1957. The rest, as they say, is history.
Decent.
Short kick. Jamison has 2 kick return touchdowns in his career and brings it out across the 35-yard line. Both of these teams have suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune this year. Texas at one point was 4-1. They were up 28-7 on Oklahoma. They lose that game, and boy, it has turned into an avalanche of disaster. They have not won since. West Virginia had an early season win against Virginia Tech. They pushed Oklahoma to the brink. There was a lot of excitement about what this team could potentially be, but it's been an uneven chutes and ladders type season for the Mountaineers as well. Keelan Robinson in the backfield. He gets the call on first down. Did not play last week while in COVID protocol. A gain of 4 for Robinson, who transferred from Alabama, spent a year in Tuscaloosa with Steve Sarkisian.
And you saw him getting to the edges. They're going to have to try and find ways, jet handoff, something to get away from the teeth of this West Virginia defense. That D-line, the strength for this Mountaineer unit that's one of the better groups in the Big 12.
That 3-yard run gets Texas out of the red in the run game. Incomplete, broken up. Intended for the tight end Brewer, and if Texas does not convert here, it would be 4 consecutive 3-and-outs to start the game.
No Bijan Robinson in the game, Anish. There's been no identity. They don't know who to lean on for a big play, and right now everyone's looking somewhere else. There's got to be a guy that's able to step up and execute and make a play for them at this point.
Jordan Whittington into the game, slot receiver up top. Missed the last 4 with a broken collarbone. He's been their top 3rd down target this year. Thompson throws the other way behind Brewer. It's 4th down, another 3 and out for Texas. Thompson is just 2 of 8. Drop passes have been a problem. There's been no running game to speak of either.
And we know Thompson dealing with the thumb injury that's been going on for the last few weeks here. So sometimes you'll see these errant balls, but there's been no one open, Anish. And this second level for West Virginia has certainly been banged up in its own right, performing really well so far.
Isaiah Estelle from the 21. Clipped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. West Virginia will look to tack on to a 2-score lead. Today, West Virginia honored the 2011 Orange Bowl team. 10-year anniversary. The game was played in January of 2012. Clemson was a 3-point favorite. And oh, by the way, West Virginia just scored again. They put up 70 on Clemson, a bowl game record. MVP of the game was Geno Smith. And Taylor McGregor with a member of that Orange Bowl team.
Stedman Bailey, a wide receiver on that team. They just said this score, 70-33, but Clemson was favored. Do you remember what it felt like going into that game when everybody was telling you were going to lose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I remember just kind of looking at the numbers, and I'm a guy that tried not to look too deeply into the numbers, but when you have the whole country that's counting you out in a game where we actually deserve to be there, it gave us all the extra fuel we needed to go out and just really dominate the game.
What made that team special?
Well, I think, you know, we were able to gel together well as a team throughout that whole season. We kind of dealt with a little bit of adversity within the beginning part of the season when we had a coaching change, but life is all about adapting, and we were able to do that really well within the season and go on to win the Big East championship, as well as put the icing on the cake by finishing it off by getting a big win down in South Florida for the Orange Bowl.
How did it feel putting up 70 against Clemson?
That's one that I can honestly say I didn't see us. I didn't expect us to score that many points. So I knew that we were a very high-power offense, and we had Geno Smith, Tavon Austin, and guys like myself, and everybody that we had on the team played a pretty key role. But everything just clicked well for us that night. On all 3 phases of the ball, we had special teams. We were able to put up some points, offense and defense both. So it just was an all-around good night for us, and just a good night to be a Mountaineer for everybody, wherever you are.
How does West Virginia get back there?
Well, I think that for the most part, we just got to maybe get back to recruiting. I think it's a recruiting thing right now where when I played, we had a pretty decent pipeline of guys coming up here from Florida. I'm not sure, but I think having myself come back to town and a lot of these guys who also played in the Orange Bowl team give these guys motivation to do what we're doing here now. We're up 14-0 against Texas, so hopefully stuff like that can help.
Appreciate your time. Anish?
On 3rd down, Daggy misses Estelle. And some extracurriculars there in the backfield. It looked like Moro Ojimo getting into it with one of the West Virginia linemen, Wyatt Milam. Now that Orange Bowl team was the last year for West Virginia in the Big East. They go to the Big 12, started 5-0 in 2012. In fact, that 5th win was against Texas. Then the wheels kind of came off late in that season.
Just a bit, but what an electric group offensively. Geno Smith running point guard for that team with some outstanding stuff.
Punt coming by Sumter. Texas 4 block punts this year. Good kick. Jamison from the 21. Changing directions. Lost his balance and taken down at the 20-yard line. A 49-yard kick by Sumter. Kevin.
Anish, time for our Twisted Tea drop in. We head back to the Horseshoe. Trevor Matich, C.J. Stroud has 241 yards passing in the first quarter.
This downfield passing game is unbelievable by Ohio State, and that's one of the reasons the Buckeyes are one of the 2 teams, along with Alabama, that can beat Georgia.
Well, speaking of, Feast Week Saturday for many in the SEC, including Georgia taking on Charleston Southern. Stetson Bennett to Brock Bowers for the score. 28-0 Dogs on top. Anish?
Couple of teams in that playoff conversation doing its part. Texas still without a first down. And out of bounds, it's Worthy. A pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's what it's going to have to be for this Texas offense right now, Anish. They cannot and are not yet built to win the battle up front. And so you've got to go to all the smoke and mirrors that we know Steve Sarkisian has in his offenses. We've seen it in every stop, but it's got to be more consistent for an offense that's lacked the playmaker so far today.
Roschon Johnson broke the initial tackle, and Texas moves the chains for the first time today.
Brought down by Sumito.
It's almost like a basketball game, and you got to see the ball go through the basket for that first time as an offense. And that's what Steve Sarkisian really likened his whole unit to. Said it's about rhythm. For him, it's players over plays, making sure guys like Xavier Worthy are getting the ball and not going for too long without it in their hands.
Johnson torpedoes across the 40. Small sample size, but it's the best looking drive by far for Texas today.
And I think it's been important. You've gotten pullers on the move. That sets you up for what Steve Sarkisian's offenses, I think, have always done best. Play action passing with pullers up in front of him to try and draw those linebackers as we see the shift now with 2 tight ends on the field.
Johnson, patient run. Another first down for Texas. It was interesting, Jordan Leslie, the West Virginia defensive coordinator, when we said, hey, what worries you about the Texas offense without Bijan Robinson? He said it starts with Sark. It's the eye candy. It's the scheme. That worried West Virginia more than any individual personnel.
They said this is the best schematic offense that we will face all season long, and he's absolutely right.
Keelan Robinson across midfield.
Keelan Robinson, the ball carrier. Tackle made by Todd Golden.
What's different on this drive with the Texas run game, which was dormant on the first 4 drives?
Yeah, I think just getting the ball to the perimeter to start Anish, to get this defense to have to think about something other than going straight forward upfield. West Virginia, 2nd in the Big 12 in tackles for loss per game. That's when they're at their best.
Robinson, strong side, breaks it loose. Keelan Robinson down the sideline, and Texas is on the board.
They know he's got a bit of home run hitter to him, but watch the patience in here. He plays with the eyes of the defenders in the box by going slow up to the line. You saw Akeem Mesidor, one of the best D linemen for West Virginia, peek in the backfield. And then all of a sudden he puts a foot in the ground and he is gone. What a huge drive for Texas.
A 49-yard touchdown. Dicker's PAT is good. Texas told us with Robinson they wanted to get him to the edge. He got to the perimeter and then got to the end zone. Prior to that last scoring drive for Texas, the Longhorns had negative rushing yards.
They put that drive in the hands of their offensive line, Anish. They'd been losing the battle up front. We talked about that. They gave an opportunity to be physical, lean on him a little bit there.
Keelan Robinson, a long touchdown run, his 3rd of the season. And Dicker sends it away. Grayson Malashevich dives across to the 20-yard line. Sunday NFL Countdown comes your way at 10 a.m. Eastern. Special guest this week is Kevin Hart, who joins Sam and the guys live from Philadelphia. Then on Monday night, it's Daniel Jones and the 3-6 Giants, who should have Saquon back. They'll take on Tom Brady and the Bucs. Sound the alarms. Tampa's lost 2 in a row.
The Giants get angry, Tom Brady. That's not great for that group right there. Welcome back, Saquon. Go up against one of the best rush defenses in all the NFL.
Eli's going to have some jokes. Letty Brown crashes ahead to the 23-yard line, a gain of 5. These last two games are going to be big for Jarret Doege, the West Virginia QB. He elected not to walk today on senior days. Brown gets the call. Let's see where they spot this. Taylor, Jarret Doege chose not to walk today on senior day. Why?
He told me he has a lot of unfinished business. Pointed out specifically his relationship with Bryce Ford Wheaton. He feels like they're just getting started, and he said we've grown so much on and off the field together. He said we're so excited about what we could potentially do next season.
Doege's got time on first down. High throw. They will confer. And it's caught by Prather. Now ruled incomplete.
On the field is an incomplete pass. Second down. Timeout on the field. Injured defensive player.
We have a timeout. Man down for Texas. It's Ovie Oghoufo. Now, what'd you think, Golic? That looked like Prather may have gotten that foot in.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout. Oghoufo is down. Will step aside.
Attention, upper level student section. Please refrain.
That looked like a foot may have come down. Second and 10. The play to Prather on the sideline ruled incomplete. We just saw a replay from a different angle during the break. His foot does not come down inbounds. And it was clear. Doege's pass on second down is caught. It's Reese Smith. A gain of 9. It sets up 3rd and 1. Back to the Prather play by the sideline. Initially from this angle, it looked, did that toe tap in perhaps and hit some green? Then we looked from this angle and
it hit the heel of the Texas defender and kept him off the ground. So great job by the shoe defense there. Kick save and a Butte.
You know all about the shoe game. Golic Jr.'s got the 45s on today.
It ain't to play games with you, Anish.
Letty Brown spins away from trouble. Forward progress gives him the first down. I want to go back down to Taylor. She mentioned her conversation with Jarret Doege. In that conversation, Taylor, did Doege say, hey, I'm coming back for sure next season?
He did. He said he elected not to walk here today because he plans on coming back next season. And there was a lot of reasons. I mentioned Bryce Ford Wheaton, but also he said multiple times, look, I lead the Big 12 in passing. And so if that's what he could do this year, with another year in this offense, another year to develop with some of his receivers, he feels like this team could be even more special next year.
West Virginia has a big-time quarterback coming in next year, part of a pretty strong recruiting class. Doege finds Winston Wright to the 40-yard line. And I'm not making an apples-to-apples comparison here. But if you look at Kenny Pickett's numbers from last season, they're almost identical to Jarret Doege's numbers this season. Pickett came back for one more year. He's become one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Again, that is not to say that Doege's going to turn into Kenny Pickett, but we've seen that kind of late career growth from college quarterbacks the last few years.
I mean, the #1 overall pick a couple of years ago in Joe Burrow was a guy that no one would have seen coming before that 2019 season.
Zach Wilson a season ago.
And now you mentioned Kenny Pickett, who we saw plenty in the years leading up to this. If anyone could have predicted what's happened this season, now vaunting himself into potentially being the top quarterback taken in the upcoming draft, please let me know, because I'd like to get your opinion on a few other things, a few other business matters.
And Pittsburgh's not far from Morgantown. I know they're rivals, but Doege may want to find Pickett in the offseason Where is the super soldier chamber, and how do I get access to it? Bryce Ford Wheaton, another first down to the 25-yard line. Doege closing in on 200 yards passing in the first half. He's 16 out of 23. This is as good as he's looked this season. And Ford Wheaton is down. Now, we mentioned both of these teams dealing with depth issues. Injuries have piled up. West Virginia had Esdale missing for a couple of games. Their starting tight end, who was a big part of this offense in the run game, the blocking game, and the receiving game, Mike O'Loughlin, is out for the season.
It's been really having to piece this together, and haven't really seen him grab a body part. They're working on one of his legs right here. But that chemistry between quarterback and receiver, we've had these guys a few times this season, and it's always seemed very natural, that combination. Ford Wheaton, we saw, like on that play, a great guy run after the catch-wise for this offense, as we see him getting up right now.
Bryce Ford Wheaton, the Mountaineers, shaking up on the play.
Top Rank Boxing tonight in Las Vegas. The main event, a 12-round super fight between undefeated WBO welterweight champ Terrence Bud Crawford and former two-time welterweight world champion Showtime Shawn Porter. Prelims start at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. The main card on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Kevin Connor's all over that, big boxing fan.
He always struck me as a very rough and tumble guy.
Letty Brown on the cutback. Lost a couple of yards. Moro Ojimo, first one in there.
A great battle on the inside between Byron Murphy, the true freshman for Texas, and Zach Frazier, the heartbeat of that Mountaineer offensive line. Byron Murphy's a guy on that other side. Steve Sarkisian, Pete Kwiatkowski on defense, really think can be what this program's about going forward. He is a difference maker and an eraser up front for them as this year's gone along.
We saw him get the start last week against Kansas. Doege over the middle, on the drag. He's got Prather, who brings it inside the 10-yard line. They have unlocked the freshman late in the season, number 3, Caden Prather.
All these physical gifts now on display, and Texas in the red zone hasn't been able to do anything against West Virginia today, whether it's man or zone. They took a chance last time trying to blitz extra bodies, and Jarret Doege was able to beat them going to Winston Wright in the corner of the end zone. But I'd imagine Texas not been able to generate a pass rush, only 16 sacks on the season. Let's see what Zach Frazier and the boys up front can do, try and hold up in pass protection for Jarret again.
First and goal from the 7. Letty Brown up the gut. Tunnels forward to about the 2-yard line. The last 2 seasons, running Letty Brown up the middle has been a productive play for West Virginia.
And when you run it right into the teeth of some pressure there and you get a good seal from that backside, Letty, who we mentioned, tied for second in the Big 12 in rushing touchdowns, coming inside the red zone this season. Feed the beast.
Parker Moore, one of the offensive linemen wearing 99, lined up as an extra tight end. Back to Brown, up the middle, untouched, and in.
They get down in that red area here, flip the field in a big-time way, and then finish the drive off. We talked about the identity of this team has been Letty Brown. And for as great as Jarret Doege's been today, they put that drive on their boys up front. They delivered down in the low red zone.
A 12-play, 82-yard drive, and a counter-strike after Texas got his first score.
Watch the center and left guard right here. James Gamitter and Zach Frazier get that double team and finish. Zach Frazier with a team-leading now 54th knockdown.
A penalty marker on the play. 12 rushing touchdowns for Letty Brown. Another one playing.
There is no foul
banged up.
for running into the kicker. The try is good.
21-7 West Virginia on top of Texas. Longhorns last week were down 42-14 to Kansas, came back to force overtime.
Well, and if we want to look back into the past, Anish, remember this matchup last year between Texas and West Virginia. West Virginia had 5 red zone possessions and only 1 touchdown last season. It has been a huge flipping of the script today. They have been at their best down inside the 20s.
West Virginia with touchdown drives of 9, 11, and now 12 plays. You guys doing push-ups in the studio too?
Always, Anish, always to stay in shape. Geico Halftime Report is on the way. You got to stick around to see what Ohio State is doing to Michigan State in a jaw-dropping performance C.J. Stroud is putting together, plus #1 Georgia tuning up an FCS opponent, and Wake Clemson ACC clinching scenario on the line there. Trevor Matich and me and you coming up on the Geico Halftime Report.
All right, Kevin. Okay, I know Golic wants to get something here on the Georgia game. You got a big guy up for the Heisman, and he got some love earlier in that Georgia game.
Jordan Davis, the all-world nose tackle for that Georgia Bulldogs defense, getting some running. We'll call him fullback. He put his hand in the dirt on that goal line rushing touchdown. It's a thing of beauty. The thick 6 for one of the best D linemen in college football.
And that's how you sell the Heisman propaganda. Texas will have it at the 35.
Kicking team will put the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
Taco Bell welcomes you to the Liv Mas student section of the year contest. Use hashtag student section sauce to get the committee's attention and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. So here's the situation guy. Is he in that student section?
He's got to be somewhere right now, stringing together some very coherent thoughts for everyone on exactly what this is all about.
The western part of Virginia. Right. Worthy picks up 9.
Pass is complete to Xavier Worthy.
So if you're Texas, you got 2 timeouts. We're getting down to 2-minute drill territory. You're near midfield as Bryce Ford Wheaton makes his way to the locker room to get an early start on halftime.
First down, Johnson. So Texas's offense coming out of hibernation the last 2 drives. Started at the 35 into West Virginia territory. The Longhorns have 2 timeouts. 2 minutes to go in this opening half. Johnson again. Patient run into the secondary, still going. And down at the 29-yard line, 19 more. It's been the run game leading the way here for Texas.
And it's been tempo on this drive now for Texas. And you just see the patient run. Everyone sticks with it. They pry open a hole eventually. And then Roschon Johnson able to put a foot in the ground.
A timeout by West Virginia, 1:47 to go in this half. This season, along with their contributions to the university's general scholarship fund, for every field goal and extra point made, All-State will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, All-State. You go into this game, 2 4-6 teams. Both have had their low points this season. Certainly, Texas had maybe the low point in program history last week, losing at home to Kansas. You wondered how much fight would be in both of these teams. I don't think it's been an effort issue so far today.
No, it's certainly been there, and I've been on plenty of losing football teams. Anish, November can be a tough month, and especially for Texas. You're on the road, and the message has got to be, we know that Kansas loss was brutal. Don't let it beat you twice. And now in the last couple of drives, we've seen them start to establish an identity and tempo at the heart of it right now.
Longhorns keep it on the ground. Johnson in the backfield, ambushed. Taj Alston. There is a flag down right at the spot that the tackle was made.
Holding, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
Brewer, the tight end, and given where you are on the field, that feels like a drive crippler.
1:47 on the game clock. 1:47 on the game clock.
It was a really smart timeout by West Virginia because now your defense had a chance to dig its heels back in a little bit to be able to diagnose. We talked about everything that Steve Sarkisian throws at you formationally, but just that tempo, getting Texas's athletes in space. Now all of a sudden you're operating behind the chains again.
Pistol look. Thompson under pressure tries to get rid of it. Didn't hear a whistle and now ruled incomplete. Texas only has 29 passing yards.
An incomplete forward pass, second down.
In this first half, and there was no whistle initially, but ruled incomplete, a forward pass. And the numbers for Thompson haven't been great. Remember, he was benched against Iowa State. Steve Sarkisian made the decision to play Thompson and Hudson Card last week. Card struggled. Thompson accounted for 7 TDs. He came into this game as the guy. He has not factored in to Texas's offensive success.
Forward pass. The previous play is under further review.
And they're going to take a look at that last play. Determine if it was indeed an incomplete pass on this from Casey Thompson. Again, important to remember, the ruling on the field, incomplete pass. So you're going to need enough video evidence, indisputable, to overturn this call right now. Trying to set up the screen, coming back here. And you see him, Anish, double clutch initially and then almost flick it out in that instance.
And something to remember here. So it's Bartlett applying the pressure. Number 12, Taj Alston, recovers it. Because there was an immediate recovery in the aftermath, if the call were to be reversed, I don't think it will be.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete forward pass is confirmed. Second down.
Doesn't matter now, but because there was an immediate recovery in the aftermath, that would have been West Virginia ball had the call been reversed.
And that's good coaching by Jordan Leslie and that defensive unit, understanding, hey, ball's on the ground. Let's make sure we're at it just in case something goes our way. Casey Thompson, good job of getting that flick away to make sure that falls incomplete.
Second down and 20, back from the 39. Texas has a tremendous kicker in Dicker. Thompson downfield, too high. Alonzo Addae, the safety in coverage, and Worthy a little slow to get up on that Texas sideline. It's 3rd and long.
And he had him open on that. There was space there for Xavier Worthy, who, one of the best playmakers. We talked about 23 targets last week. Most of any player in the FBS this season has been very quiet today, and a lot of that has to do with the inaccuracy at quarterback.
How do you play this? Do you try to at least get into field goal range?
I would try and go back to the screen game for that reason, see if you can break one.
Instead, they'll run it. Roschon Johnson. And he fights his way to the 32. It's 4th and 12. Let's see if West Virginia uses a timeout here. Neil Brown uses his second timeout.
West Virginia, second
The clock was still running when the referees blew the whistle, so they're going to have to add a few seconds back on the clock.
Reset the game clock. 1 minute, 18 seconds. 1:18.
And a smart timeout by Neil Brown. They put that time back on the clock. So now, imagine Texas going to try and go ahead for the field goal kick here with 4th and 13 upcoming and get points on the board. But West Virginia, with how you've moved the ball through the air today and a timeout left after this, could be in very good shape.
Dicker the kicker against Leg the leg. Both of them have been very good this season. Dicker, his season long is 49. And this kick will be from right about 49-50. It's going to be a 50-yarder. Dicker has hit 3 from 50 plus in his career. His career long is 57. Dicker's kick is good. So Texas tacks on 3. That holding call, though, ended up being huge. And now West Virginia will get the ball back with 1 timeout and 1:13 to go.
And I think it's been really smart timeout used by Neal Brown overall to end the half here. Remember, Texas is driving. You burn that timeout, give your defense a chance to catch their breath. What happens? Splash play behind the line of scrimmage that forces the penalty there. Now you preserve a minute and change left with a timeout left for this last drive towards the end of the half.
Cameron Dicker this season has been handling the kicks. He's been their punter in the spring. Folks were asking Steve Sarkisian, why is Dicker punting? And Sark's response, well, he's also an NFL punter. He is up for the Ray Guy Award.
Leads the Big 12 in punting average, over 47 yards a punt. 8th in all of college football. We have got some serious legs on display today.
"57 career field goals made now for Dicker. 2 shy of Phil Dawson's school record. Fair catch called for by Malashevich. West Virginia ball at the 25. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. College basketball underway. You get 180 men's and women's games, plus the weekly coaches shows and conference championship events throughout the year. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now.
Huge drive upcoming here in Niche. Remember, Bryce Ford Wheaton already in the halftime locker room right now, so Doege's most consistent target off the field.
That's their big play thread, too. Letty Brown bounces it to the outside. Stiff arm, he's out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 1:07 to go. Prather is one to watch down here as well. If West Virginia takes a shot, he's got that 6'4" frame.
He's the big body you're looking for. We know Isaiah S. Dale back in that lineup, huge for them consistency-wise. But keep an eye out on Winston Wright, number 1 in the slot, matched up with Anthony Cook on the outside here. That's advantage West Virginia.
TJ Banks, the tight end in motion. Brown again. Running room up the middle across the 40. He lost the football. That's been a problem for Letty Brown this year.
Ruling on the field was that the runner was down by rule. First down.
First down. Brown was down when the ball came out. That'll momentarily stop the clock. Now it starts. Clock running, 50 seconds.
That's the right call. You see Nee clearly down in that situation.
And a timeout by Texas.
Timeout, Texas. Second of the half, 30 seconds. Reset the game
Boy, a
clock.
tough one there if you're Texas to have to burn the timeout too, but let's take a look at Letty Brown in that last run.
Knee down, and the ground causes the fumble after the knee goes down.
Clearly out, but now we just saw Texas burn the timeout here. West Virginia had just gotten the first down, the clock was rolling, and so now you preserve and give the Mountaineers a chance to huddle up here and continue this drive after a couple of rushing attempts to start this. We talked about the good tight end use on West Virginia's side. For Steve Sarkisian and company, when you've got a defense that has struggled at times to get lined up in the right spots, this can be the issue.
Letty Brown has had a nice first half, so has Jarret Doege. He has been a lightning rod for this fan base. Today, 17 of 24, 211, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers.
They started him off that way. The first drive, 6 passing attempts, only 2 rushes.
Doege over the middle, wide open Sam James inside the Texas 40. That'll momentarily stop the clock. Now it starts. The officials spot the ball. Mountaineers still have that timeout. Doege, he has been so much more decisive. And let's see if West Virginia calls its final timeout. They do. 28 seconds to go. Prather made the catch.
Full timeout.
Now that's been the big difference with Doege today. Last week we saw against Kansas State, a lot of time elapses when he's in the pocket and he takes a sack or forces a throw. Both interceptions last week, at least one was not his fault. Today we've seen a decisive quarterback.
We have, and it's translated to one of the areas that was the biggest issue for them in the last couple of games. In the last 2 games, converting on third down at just a 25% clip. They're 6 of 9 today. They've been in better situations, but Jarret Doege, to your point, has also operated with more rhythm in this passing attack. And that seemed like a charge from Neil Brown, from Jarrett Parker, their offensive coordinator, from the first drive on this game.
They've got it at the 36-yard line. Casey Legg, the kicker, his career long is 51. No timeouts, though. So how do you navigate these final 28 seconds without the timeout?
Yeah, it depends on Texas. They've been running a lot of cover 2. They've got a single high safety right now, so going to be easier to attack the sidelines with some of those flats open if they're playing cover 1 or cover 3.
Late pressure. James over the middle. Fighting for that first down. He won't get it, so the clock will continue to run.
Now you got to give up. You had 2 plays called when you went to the sideline with that tight end, with that timeout, excuse me.
Low snap. Doege to the sideline. High throw. Incomplete for Esdale. 8 seconds to go. Ball on the 31. It's 4th down, and you'll see Legg.
And just a tough look on that last play. Give Texas credit. Disguised the blitz very well on that play prior. Forced West Virginia to operate at a different tempo. And now Legg gets a chance to answer Dicker the kicker.
That's just how we drew it up. A 48-yard field goal attempt for Casey Legg, who is perfect at home this season, and Texas will use the obligatory freeze the kicker timeout. You got 1 left. Got to burn it before halftime.
Can't take them with you. Cannot take them with you. But this first half, Anish, about as well as you could script it to start for West Virginia. And now they got a chance to finish it off with points right here, go into a halftime locker room and really try and step on the gas coming out.
Tonight, the top teams square off in the Pac-12. Perhaps a conference championship preview. Number 3, Oregon, in the playoff hunt against Utah. The Utes have been playing well of late, and they are a favorite tonight.
And Oregon's been the team everyone's had looking questions about in this top 4 of the college football playoffs to start. They haven't been pretty wins. Washington in a rainstorm, it was a grinder against the team that ultimately ended up letting go of its head coach. Lots to look forward to tonight.
Legg from 48. No good.
With 3 seconds left to go in the second quarter, your score, West Virginia 21.
3 seconds left before halftime, and Texas will get the ball first to begin that 3rd quarter. Interestingly enough, in this 5-game losing streak for the Longhorns, they've had a halftime lead in 4 of the 5 games. The lone exception, Kansas. But they've had a second half lead in all 5 of those games.
That inability to finish, going to have a different challenge today against a Mountaineers team with a solid lead and who's been controlling the line of scrimmage most of the game.
West Virginia has a pretty good record under Neil Brown when leading at the half. 21-10, West Virginia on top of Texas. Time now to get you to halftime. And Kevin Connors. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Your score at halftime, West Virginia 21, Texas 10. Anish Shroff, Mike Golick Jr., Taylor McGregor with you on this Saturday. A couple of 4 and 6 teams, both needing to win to keep their hopes of bowl eligibility alive. West Virginia offensively, Jarret Doege was terrific in that first half.
He was terrific, and money on the money downs. Yep. 60% on third down, 100% in the red zone, and it was because that offensive line up front had finally given him time. The most sacked team in the Big 12 turned things around at a big time. And it's been against man coverage, zone coverage. You saw him there, split the deep safeties. The touchdown in the back of the end zone that we saw on the subsequent drive to Winston Wright. Jarret Doege, when he has got time to step into a throw, not overthink things, has been able to find plenty of room in the back end of a Texas defense that's going to have to continue to try and manufacture pressure both against the pass game and to stop this rushing attack from West Virginia for getting going with Leddie Brown.
Doege, 20 out of 28, 238 yards, 2 TDs, no turnovers. He will be without Bryce Ford Wheaton, his big deep play threat for the rest of the game. Texas will have it at the 25 as we check in with Taylor.
Steve Sarkisian saying they have got to get pressure on the quarterback, said we have got to make them make contested catches. And then he said offensively, we got to start playing catch. We need to pass the ball more efficiently. And then Neil Brown said, as you mentioned, Bryce Ford Wheaton out in the second half. He said this play right here for them offensively is going to be critical in the first half. Defensively, they need to do a better job of mixing up their defensive fronts.
We wondered at halftime, would Casey Thompson come out for the second half? The answer is no. Hudson Card will take the first snap of the third quarter. Played 3 series last week against Kansas. Touchdown, a sack fumble, and a pick 6. And he hands it off on first down. Roschon Johnson, or rather Keelan Robinson, with a gain of about 7. The run game has been the go-to for Texas the last couple of drives. So this week, Steve Sarkisian says Casey Thompson's the guy. He is now the bona fide #1 starter. And then he struggles in the first half. Enter Hudson Card.
And again, after a week where he accounted for 7 touchdowns against Kansas, it's unbelievable night and day.
There's Robinson. He had the lone Texas touchdown in the first half. A gain of 8 to move the chains. 72 yards on 5 carries for Robinson.
And sometimes you're a victim of circumstance, Anish, because this rushing attack for Texas didn't show up. The play calling even skewed more pass-heavy to start the game. In the first quarter, you had -2 rushing yards. In the second, you had 108. There was an identity shift that certainly Casey Thompson wasn't playing great, but that offense, different now.
Card to the air, and he overthrows Worthy. 8 targets now for Xavier Worthy. He had 3 catches in the first half. True freshman, has put together the best season by a freshman wideout in Texas history, leading the Big 12 in receiving yards, tied for first nationally in receiving touchdowns.
He's been sensational, Anish, for a young player to come in and operate within this offense as confidently he has is remarkable. The quarterbacks have not gotten the ball on his body today.
No Bijan Robinson, the star running back for Texas, suffered a season-ending elbow injury last week. Card off the play fake, rolling to his right, chased, fires downfield, it's incomplete. Out of the hands of Robinson, it's third down, another drop by these Texas receivers. That's 4.
And all 4 would have gone for double-digit gains so far. So again, we can talk about the quarterback play and switch here.
Ineligible player downfield, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Junior Anguilau, the left guard. Texas has had to shuffle its O-line this season. Denzel Okafor, one of their guards, got hurt, so Anguilau moved from right guard to left guard. Tope Imade, a 6th-year senior who hadn't really played much, started for the first time this season because of the injury to Okafor a few weeks back.
Third down.
Yeah, for a group that's already trying to learn a new scheme, now you interrupt with continuity issues, and it makes the lines of communication that much more difficult.
West Virginia declined the penalty, so it'll bring up 3rd and 10, and Texas still looking for its first third down conversion of the game. Whittington back after missing 4 games today in the slot. He's been their go-to guy on third downs before he got hurt. Card will take off and tripped up. Darrell Porter made the play at the 45. It's 4th down.
The beauty of this West Virginia defense for Jordan Leslie is at the second level. It's technically a 3-3-5, but it can morph around. You can shift it to get 4-down looks up front. And in the secondary, with that spear roll, with guys like Jackie Matthews and Scotty Young, you cloud the picture on every down, giving a different look to opposing offenses.
Estelle fielding the Dicker punt inside the 15. And that's where West Virginia will begin after a 46-yard kick.
Great guest list for the Mannings tonight.
You've reached Peyton and Eli. Leave a message.
Hey, Eli, it's Adam Sandler. I love to be on your show and read compliments from your mom. Watch Peyton and Eli. You never know who'll drop by.
So this week, Monday Night Football, it's the Giants and the Bucks. You got Tom Brady, you've got Eli Manning calling the game. I wonder if David Tyree is on the guest list.
Oh, he's really going to try and twist the knife this week, huh?
He's got to. Letty Brown on first down. Slips one tackle, still churning. And plows ahead across the 20 for a gain of 7. 72 yards on the ground for Letty Brown. We showed you the graphic earlier. In all 3 of West Virginia's FBS wins, they also beat LIU, Letty has gone over 100 yards on the ground.
And in key moments like this where you've got a lead, it's a great way to start to take the air out of this game here to really set a physical tone against a Texas defense that surrendered 200-plus rushing yards in 4 of their last 5.
Brown again. A gain of a yard, so third down coming up. West Virginia has had the ball for almost twice as much time as Texas. You look at total plays, 50 for the Mountaineers, 29 for the Longhorns.
It's been dominance for this West Virginia offense. And again, third down, Jarret Doege is most comfortable spread out like this. Letty Brown all the way out to the outside. So you see, does a linebacker go with him or a safety, letting you know man or zone coverage? And you got a linebacker running, so he knows he's got man.
Doege has a receiver. And a first down for West Virginia. Winston Wright, his 5th reception. He came into the game second in the conference in catches behind only Iowa State's Xavier Hutchinson.
And so without Bryce Ford-Wheaton to get you wins, you've got to give your quarterback information. A great call with the mesh route there, get a natural rub against man coverage, and a great window for your quarterback.
Tony Mathis spells Brown. Doege's got time. Rolls to his right. And that's a wise decision by Jarret Doege. Oftentimes, we have seen plays like that. When he gets into trouble or he takes too much time, it ends up in disaster. That time it's a positive gain.
It was. That was growth from the young quarterback. And you see, Texas shifting coverage. They go from a 2-high safety look to 1. And so now Jarret Doege takes a tick longer, but doesn't put the ball in harm's way and gets a modest gain.
2nd and 7. Mathis. And he's close to a first down. Ojimo the stop. Mathis played well in the Iowa State win. Showed some burst, spelling Letty Brown. And a first down for West Virginia. They continue to move the chains. They've been terrific on third downs today, 8 out of 12 now.
And again, in their last 2 games, Anish, they were converting on 25%. But this is about winning first and second down. You've seen Texas getting more desperate, starting to blitz on rushing downs. And when you like to run the ball up the middle as much as West Virginia does, it gives you great chances to both crease them in the running game and start to get guys looking downhill for the play action behind it.
Back to Brown. Maneuvers through traffic for a gain of 5. B.J. Foster threw Brown to the ground. Well, that seemed to happen after the play. And now both teams getting into it. It's no secret. Frustrations for both sides close to a boiling point coming into the game, given how the seasons have gone for both of these teams.
And you don't want it to bleed over and give them easy yards if you're Texas, but I like seeing some of the fire. You've been moved on all day. There's got to be some resistance.
I like the officiating, too. Get them apart. Don't throw flags. Don't create a circus. Doege, his pass batted down. T'Vondre Sweat, the junior, number 93, got his paw on it.
And now another critical third down and medium here. Texas has brought pressure the last 2 downs, but the best thing that they've done is manipulated what Jarret Doege's seeing before the play here. Maybe show pressure, drop back, and continue to try and cloud it. See if you can bait him into another mistake as they spread it out again with 5 wide.
Empty set, 3-on-2 at the top of your screen. West Virginia has numbers up there. Doege looks the other way. Contested throw. Incomplete for Prather. Top of your screen, you had 3 receivers, only 2 white jerseys.
But again, they rolled coverage. There was a safety over, and you move the picture on Jarret Doege and give this Texas secondary a chance to come down and be physical at the top of these routes. So much of it has been passive when you sit back in that cover 2 for so long.
Sumter will punt. Texas tied for first with 4 blocked punts this season. Jamison's a dangerous return man. This one takes a bounce, and it rolls out of bounds. Texas ball on the other side, 8:52 to go, third quarter. Longhorns down 11. In a season of gut punches, last week, Texas took a haymaker straight to the duodenum.
Here we go. Daniels, flushed. Daniels, end zone, caught! Kansas wins it! And the Jayhawks find a way.
57-56. Jared Casey caught the 2-point conversion, and then he got a sponsorship deal immediately with everybody's favorite neighborhood chain restaurant.
Reminding everyone you always go for 2. Imagine living in a time where a young man couldn't immediately capitalize marketing-wise off of a play like that. No one would want to live in that world.
Hudson Card still in at quarterback, his second series. Off play action. Card loads up and airmails Washington. So this is now the second time in 3 games where Casey Thompson has been benched. It happened against Iowa State. Card is getting a chance here. Last week, the plan was to play both. Card struggled, and Thompson accounted for 7 touchdowns, 400-plus yards of total offense.
It's been ride the hot hand, but this is certainly a different caliber of defense you're playing with West Virginia. Much more discipline across the board.
Xavier Worthy goes in motion. Roschon Johnson bounces to the outside. Stutter step. And you can see the drive. He was determined to stay in bounds and get the extra yards. Picks up 5. Third down. That's been the bet noir for Texas. 0 for 6 today.
It's been brutal. There's been no identity. Again, we talked about the lack of Bijan Robinson accounting for a third of their scrimmage yards. Jordan Whittington is supposed to be their third down guy. He's in the inside of that bunch. They're going to try and clear out some space for him with that group there.
Whittington was the motion man, 4 and white. Card eludes the pursuit. The ball is tipped off the deflection. It's caught by Washington for a first down, and that is Texas's first third down conversion.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good right here. Good job sliding up in the middle of the pocket, and a great job getting a hand on it by Scotty Young. There's not much more that you can do in that situation, but a much-needed breath of fresh air for Texas on first down.
A break. They have not had many the last month plus. Johnson sweeps to the left and turned back by Swarm, a gain of 3. Chandler Semedo was in there, second in the Big 12 in tackles, and he has stayed on the field pretty much the whole game. Not a lot of depth at linebacker for either of these teams.
No, and even though you've got guys with some experience out there with him, we mentioned Jackie Matthews, Scotty Young, you still need someone in there who's been used to playing his actual spot to try and offset some of those communication issues with the rest of the group.
A game-high 9 tackles for Chandler Semedo. Third down coming up after the run by Johnson. West Virginia without X Relo, who is out. Lance Dixon was questionable coming into today. He's out, so Scotty Young, who normally plays that spear position, has been the weak side linebacker.
And so they rely on the guy who was the Liberty Bowl MVP last year in Chandler Samito, second in the Big 12 in tackles per game and solo tackles.
5 wide. One of them is Keelan Robinson. Rushing 3, dropping 8. Card steps up over the middle, caught, and a first down for Texas. Xavier Worthy, a gain of 6, his 4th reception.
And a lot of good short area stuff, Anish. We've seen them try and go with double moves. We've seen the bad drops down the field here. And so now Texas taking some of the approach we saw from West Virginia early in the game on offense.
Card rolling to his right. Downfield for Worthy. Makes the catch! Touchdown, Texas! 4 straight games with a touchdown by the freshman, and it's a 1-score game in Morgantown.
And we talked about all that underneath work, Anish. Sets it up for the double move here from your talented freshman wide receiver. Watch Ayton White on the outside here, setting up in the in-night with the out and up. Does a great job getting distance, but then what a ball by Card to put it out in front of him, not underthrowing that, not giving the defender a chance to catch up to your freshman record-breaking wideout.
12 touchdown receptions, now 1 shy of the single-season Texas record. That was Jordan Shipley, who had 13 back in 2009. A week ago, Worthy was everywhere, targeted 23 times, 14 catches, 152, 3 touchdowns against Kansas. He gets his first score of the day for the Longhorns today, and he's made it a 4-point game. Seven plays, 79 yards, a 52-yard touchdown catch by Xavier Worthy. Texas had more passing yards on that drive than the entire game previously.
23 passing yards in the first half of this game. Big time answer.
Drive recap is brought to you by Mazda.
And you look at this for Texas, it all started on the tip here. Their first 3rd down conversion of the day off the tip ball by Scotty Young, and then the double move for Xavier Worthy, who continues to add to the most prolific season for a freshman wideout in program history.
First and 10 for the Mountaineers, ball to West Virginia 25-yard line.
First and 10 for Doege in the offense. Doege under pressure, and he is sacked. He had been sacked 14 more times than any other quarterback in the Big 12 entering play.
And just like you saw there, Anish, only a 3-man rush. Coming into this game, 23 of his 25 sacks had come without the defense having to add a blitzer. But again, it's because on the back end now, Texas starting to slide to more single high and making Jarret Doege think.
Now that was the look again. Doege scanning. Down he goes again. It's Sweat with the sack. It's 3rd and long. And the pendulum is swung to the boys from Austin.
What an answer now by Texas on defense. And really a niche for their defense. We know they've struggled all season long. As you watch the pass rush here from T'Vondre Sweat, just staying active in a 3-man rush as the back-end coverage helps you out. Coverage and pass rush always tied together, and now they get the rare opportunity to pin their ears back up front.
3rd and 18. Doege downfield, Winston right. And he's able to move the chains. A gain of 19 to the junior from Savannah.
And Anish, I think about going right back to a big play after this one. Because remember, no Bryce Ford Wheaton on the field. Winston Wright stays active, finds a hole in the zone. That is a backbreaker morally for a defense now. I'd load them up and try and take advantage of that, get something deep over the top.
Instead, Leddie Brown got a block to clear some space. Still going. He needed one block from TJ Banks, his tight end. The rest, DIY.
And this the story. Remember, for Texas defense, allowing 3 rush yards after contact this season, the 6th worst in the FBS.
And Leddie Brown, north of 100 yards rushing now. In all 3 of West Virginia's FBS wins, Brown has rushed for 100+.
And Anish, a lot of times rushing stats like that can skew towards you running the ball at the end of the game. This is a 1-score game. Every one of these yards matter.
Brown through the defense. He's running with purpose. We have seen him at times this season get worn down in the second half. He's been a fast starter, not necessarily a strong finisher. Running with purpose in the second half.
And running into the teeth of them trying to go pressure. They ran straight into where the pressure was coming off the left side of that Texas defense, and it's made for great lanes.
18 more. Look what he's done in this third quarter. Averaging 11+ a carry.
And this is where West Virginia's been at their best today. 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdown scores. A lot of that through the air for Jarret Doege.
They'll feed Brown again to the outside. Stiff arms his way to the 16. And they're getting into it down in the field as we get a flag.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4, defense. Half the distance to the goal. A minute. First down. That's number 4's first unsportsmanlike conduct for the game.
Darian Dunn, the McNeese transfer. Taylor.
With purpose, because he is trying to get to that 1,000-yard rushing mark this season. He told me I still had the chance to do that. He wanted to be a more complete back this season, but he also really wants to get to that mark.
Came in with 751, 126 today, so needs to double that total next week, and perhaps if West Virginia wins out in the bowl game. 2 backs now as Mathis is in. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Leddie. And he's to the 6-yard line. Fourth 100-yard game of the season, 11th of his career. Last year he averaged 5 yards a carry, ran for 1,000 in a shortened season. First team all-conference. He's had to fight through some injuries this year, but we had West Virginia week 1, and Neil Brown said, Leddie Brown's the bell cow. He's the guy to take us there. Brown split wide. He was open in the flat. Doege gets it to him, but too late.
And they're just far enough away to where this ground game now gets into an uncomfortable spot here. There's less room to run, and for Texas, we talked about them shifting coverages. They're sitting in too high right now, making sure Winston Wright doesn't have a one-on-one down here in the low red zone, doesn't have an opportunity to beat them deep here.
Final minute of this third quarter. 3rd and goal. Doege's got time. Back of the end zone. And brought in for a score. Sean Ryan.
And now Outstanding footwork by Sean Ryan, but even more so the poise by Jarret Doege. Down where these windows shrink to have yet another answer. Texas scores, and you see they use the attention paid to Sam James there in the flat to get a one-on-one for Ryan in the back of the end zone. And every time Texas has gone down and scored, West Virginia's had the answer.
The first Texas touchdown, a long run by Keelan Robinson. West Virginia responded. After the long touchdown catch by Worthy, West Virginia marches downfield, 9 plays, 75 yards. Doege's third touchdown pass of the game. Sean Ryan's third touchdown catch of the season. A junior transfer who started his career at Temple. Remember, the Owls made a coaching change when Jeff Collins left for Georgia Tech. They hired Manny Diaz for, 5 minutes. Diaz then left for Miami. Rod Carey took over, and Sean Ryan said, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Number 94 for Texas.
And now getting the payoff. We've talked so much about this West Virginia offense trying to get consistency, but with all the criticism, we heard Jarret Doege tell Taylor McGregor, leading the Big 12 in passing yards, doing the thing that he's done this season. He's 22nd nationally in completions per game. This is still a productive West Virginia passing offense, just a little bit inconsistent, especially in critical downs and distance the last stretch of games.
Seeing horns down signs in the audience, that is legal. You do that on the field, it's a penalty. And a fair catch called for inside the 30. We'll check in with Kevin.
At each time for our Twisted Tea drop in, we check in on Oklahoma, Iowa State. Sooners clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game with a win and a Baylor loss. Caleb Williams, Mario Williams covers 11 yards, but the Cyclones just intercepted Caleb Williams. 21-7 your score, late third quarter, Anish.
We'll keep an eye on that game. It seems Oklahoma and Oklahoma State on a collision course. The Cowboys are the team that nationally nobody seems to be talking about. They're the Big 12's best bet right now for a playoff team.
Spencer Sanders and that offense have been relying on the defense for the majority of the year, starting to get just enough production in what, when you look across the board, has very much become a defensive conference.
Keelan Robinson picks up 5. Tuesday, the next batch of playoff rankings come out. We'll have that for you on ESPN. Worthy, who had the touchdown, lost the football at the end of the play. Catch, fumble, they mark him out right at that first down marker. And quarter number 3 comes to an end. Both teams trading scores. Texas has done it today with the big play. It's been a methodical approach by West Virginia. Long drives. We go to the fourth quarter. Mountaineers up 2 scores. A couple of teams that have struggled to play 60 minutes at times this season. We come down to the final 15 minutes in regulation. Texas with the ball, down 28-17. Hudson Card has been the quarterback here in the second half. Shoots it over the middle. He's got his tight end, Brewer, to the 45 of West Virginia. Card did not start this week. He began the season as the starter. Was replaced in Game 3 by Casey Thompson. Card came off the bench against Iowa State. Got in for 3 series last week against Kansas, and then replaced an ineffective Thompson to begin the second half today. He's completed 5 in a row, make it 6. Worthy outside the numbers to the 46-yard line.
Anish, you mentioned him coming off the bench in the second half. Started 0 of 3 and now on that 6 of 6 streak, including the touchdown to Xavier Worthy, who now looks a little bit more comfortable in here. They're going to have to continue to hunt ways to get him the football like they did last week against Kansas.
They lost about a half yard on that play. Up the middle, a big opening. Robinson into the secondary. Finally subdued at the 20-yard line. 25 more for Keelan Robinson, and he's got the first 100-yard game of his career.
And that was all about setting it up with the motion by Xavier Worthy. Look at the linebackers. They sit back on their heels. They see the best player running across the field. You got to keep your eyes peeled as we see another shift from the Steve Sarkisian offense.
Card has a wide open Brewer. The old tight end throwback to the 11-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down.
It took a while for this rushing attack to get going. Once Sark committed to it, though, it sets up this play action. You look at Cade Brewer on the other side, comes down here, works as a blocker, buys his time. And then because the rushing attack's been so effective, because Xavier Worthy's been a threat down the field, wide open out the back door.
Robinson moves the chains. Texas without Bijan Robinson, for my money, the most talented running back in the country, out for the season with an elbow injury. Keelan Robinson today picking up some of that slack. 8 for 107. Roschon Johnson has chipped in with 63 yards, and he's into the game, lined up in the pistol behind Card. Johnson. Touchdown, Texas. The Longhorns not going away either. And now do you go for two?
And they'll do just that. Offense staying on the field here. A chance to make this just a field goal game if they're able to convert. And the way your offense has been humming right now, too, you feel great about all the windows you're creating here with this play action. Both quarterbacks allow you the ability to move the pocket and manipulate the defense as well here. I think you're going to see right here an overload. 4 wide receivers to this strong side. Try and flood the zone towards the field with receivers.
Card, end zone. It was tipped, incomplete. He wanted Whittington. Chandler Semedo got his hand on it. It's 28-23.
Just a great understanding by your veteran linebacker, seeing the quarterback's eyes and getting in that window. So Texas finds a way to answer, getting their rushing game into the end zone, but the 2-point conversion thwarted. 28-23, West Virginia when we come back.
(28-23) West Virginia after the Texas touchdown. The 2-point conversion no good. Both teams need to win out to become bowl eligible. Mountaineers ball at the 25 after the fair catch. Series history between these two, just the 11th meeting all time, but there have been some memorable ones. 2012, West Virginia improved to 5-0. First year in the Big 12, Geno Smith, 4 TD passes in that game. 2013, Texas gets revenge. Case McCoy, 3 second-half touchdown passes to rally the Longhorns. 2016, Mountaineers win 24-20. Texas lost its final 3 games that season, costing Charlie Strong his job. 2018, Will Grier to Greg Jennings for a touchdown. West Virginia goes for 2. They get it, and they pull off the win in Austin. Doege downfield, hits his man. The ball hits the ground, incomplete. He wanted Sam James near midfield, and James, who has struggled with drops in his career, actually saw a sports psychologist. It was the yips, and fails to hold on to that one. He's been much better about that this year. That was a good throw, and that's one James has to have.
Has to have. You give some credit on the back end, but with that much time and with your back term, got to be able to secure that ball. Now a little bit off schedule for a West Virginia offense.
James now to the sideline. Bryce Ford Wheaton, one of West Virginia's top receivers, out for the game already. They'll set up the screen. Texas snuffs it out. And driven back at the 20-yard line, a loss of 5, Isaiah Esdale. It's 3rd and long.
And remember, last time, Texas does a good job behind the line of scrimmage, pressuring the quarterback. West Virginia able to hit them deep. They sat back a little bit here. I think if you're Texas, you got to come after Jarret Doege and try and force him to throw under pressure.
On the last drive for West Virginia, they converted on 3rd and 18. Mountaineers 10 out of 15 on 3rd down. Clean pocket for Doege. Over the middle for Reese Smith, who hauls it in. That's got to be back-breaking for a defense. 2 consecutive drives. You get the offense in 3rd and long, and you can't get off the field.
And that's why I just don't understand, Anish. You sit back and cover 2. You've been rolling shells all day. You've been trying to get pressure, and now you allow Jarret Doege to just hunt the middle of the field. Credit him for putting the ball over the top of the linebacker, but Texas's defense giving him a still picture on a ground where you need chaos. The down, excuse me.
284 yards passing for Doege. 26 of 37. Now a dose of Leddie Brown. Thunders across midfield. A dozen more for Brown, up to 140 yards rushing. Another first down for West Virginia. And now on this half of the field, a Texas defense which has gotten worn down in the second half of games this year. You're about to feel the wrath of number 4.
And of number 85. I got to give TJ Banks some credit at tight end here, has stepped up as that position's dealt with injury. O'Laughlin out, who's been a part of that here. Banks has stepped up big time for them all day.
Brown to the outside. Leddie Brown at his best as a north-south runner in the second half. We have seen him make a number of runs where he's bounced it to the perimeter and picked up big yards.
Both teams have taken advantage of their tight ends as lead blockers. That's something we see plenty from Steve Sarkisian's offense. But, Anish, you notice it's been a shift. Leddie Brown more in the second half. No Bryce Ford-Wheaton again, the most productive receiver for West Virginia, out after the first half with an injury.
Ford-Wheaton has been a big play threat in the offense. Mathis in at running back on 2nd and 5. Mathis able to move the chains. You see a lot of motion with the tight end, and that time they sent Banks one way. Mathis heads the other way. We've seen a lot of that from West Virginia.
You get a lot of that split zone action in the inside, and you see them getting those guys in there. Motion right before the snap. Try and give your offense more blockers than they've got defenders in the box right before the snap, before they've got time to adjust. We've also seen more of this drive. A lot of double cadence here. Give Jarret Doege a snap count to try and get the defense to tip its hand.
Mathis again. To the 32-yard line, 5 more. 150-plus yards on the ground for West Virginia. They came into the game last in the conference in rushing. It's an air raid offense. Doege leads the conference in pass attempts, but in this game, they've been able to do what they've wanted offensively for the most part. Doege throws it away. And to check in with Kevin.
Anish, Brock Purdy left the Iowa State-Oklahoma game with an injury in the third quarter, so Hunter Decker's on, finding Chase Allen, and this is now a one-score game, 21-14 in the fourth.
Now, what is it with these backup Big 12 quarterbacks? Saw it with Kansas last week. Texas turning to Hudson Card today, and they've gotten back into this game. Big 3rd down and 5. Screen pass off the hands of the freshman Prather. And it's 4th down. You've got it at the 32-yard line. Leg missed from 48 earlier. What do?
I think you go for it on 4th down here. You've been within range. Your quarterback is seeing the field well. And most importantly to me, in these critical downs, Texas has not done anything to disrupt Jarret Doege. I think you look and see, if you've got those 2 high safeties, Jarret Doege is going to be hunting the middle of the field again, with Winston Wright at number 1 lined up in the slot in this formation on the top side. Motion there, you've got the linebacker spreading out here. It's zone defense here with him going back to the box.
Brockemeyer got right back just in time. Doege read it, right at the sticks. It's a first down catch for Sean Rhyan. You saw confusion on the Texas side. Brockemeyer ran to the sideline and then had to run back. And you mentioned Texas was supposed to be in zone.
They're supposed to be. You saw that linebacker running, thinking, do I have the running back in man? This is something Pete Kwiatkowski, their defensive coordinator, said. This group has had trouble getting lined up when the offense starts to move in motion.
Eddie Brown gets past Ben Davis. Would have lost more. It's going to be a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
Anish, we saw the double move from Texas earlier on a touchdown. This would be a great area of the field right now if you want to try and get someone open here. We talked about Winston Wright, Isaiah Esdale, even Sean Rhyan, who caught the last touchdown for you. Texas's defense is great going in one direction, but when you get them to try and plant their feet, move laterally, all of a sudden you get issues.
Winston Wright in motion. Doege. Miscommunication with Ryan. So here you go. It's another 3rd and long. On the last 2 scoring drives, West Virginia has converted 3rd and 18 and 3rd and 15. It's now 3rd and 12.
Your quarterback.
Well, I should say the last 2 drives. This is not a scoring drive, at least yet.
Again, using the snap count, getting a look at this defense here, and it looks like they're sitting back in too high. Sam James in the middle of that, matched up on a linebacker, try and split these safeties.
Clean pocket again for Doege. It's tipped. Was it intercepted? No, it's incomplete. And it brings up a 4th down. And now we'll see Casey Legg. This will be about a 45-yard field goal attempt to make it an 8-point game. Legg 16 of 19 this season. One of the misses came from 48 earlier today. From 45. It's good. We're shaping up for another fun finish in the Big 12. West Virginia up 8. They'll kick off to Texas when we come back.
ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff Semifinals. Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
Just getting started on this college football Saturday. Playoff implications in Cincinnati and Salt Lake City. Virginia Pitt follows us. If Pitt wins, the Panthers clinch a spot in the ACC Championship. If Virginia wins, UVA is in the ACC Championship with a win next week against Virginia Tech.
Brennan Armstrong's health going to be huge for them down the stretch. We know he missed the Notre Dame game, but when he's in there, that offense is as good as any you'll see in college football.
2 of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, arguably the 2 front runners for Conference Player of the Year, along with Kenny Pickett. Well, they won't give Jamison a chance. It'll be Texas ball as we go down to Taylor.
West Virginia defensive coordinator Jordan Leslie's message to his defensive line just now: use your technique, own your gap, and account for the tight end. You didn't feel like they did that on Texas's last offensive drive.
Steve Sarkisian loves to use Jared Wiley, Cade Brewer as those chess pieces and lead blockers in this offense. They've gone heavy on gap runs, pullers, toss action to the outside, counters and powers the other way. This strength of the West Virginia defense is up front. Those guys have to get penetration and play back over the top of blocks against a lot of these gap scheme runs for Texas.
Hudson Card to throw on first down. Back over to Keelan Robinson. Accelerates across the 35, up to the 40-yard line, a gain of 16. A Texas team that has lost 5 in a row as Robinson is down on the ground. Longest losing streak since 1956. In the last 5 games, Texas has had a second half lead in all of them. They have never led today. They'll attend to Robinson and we'll step aside. Steve Sarkisian's team mired in a long losing streak. This after a 4-1 start. Down by 8, needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. 6:45 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Both teams need to win out to become bowl eligible. Keelan Robinson went down on the last play before break, so Roschon Johnson is in, and he tunnels ahead to about the 48-yard line. Give him 7. It's 2nd and 3. What Sark is known for is getting the ball to his playmakers some way, somehow. Today, that's been Roschon Johnson. It's been Keelan Robinson, and it's been Xavier Worthy.
And you see now he's got 2 of those guys, tight end and running back, out wide in the formation, try and get the defense to tell on itself.
West Virginia in a zone. Johnson is open, has midfield, and has a first down for Texas into Mountaineer territory.
We talk about this a lot as a tendency for air raid offenses. You use these deep developing routes to open up what's the air raid version of the dive underneath for these running back swing passes. And so now 2 of those for Texas here. You start loading up for that deep shot that's got to be coming here soon as they cross the 50.
Worthy comes in motion. Up the middle. And it's Johnson torpedoing to the 45-yard line. Less than 5.5 to go in regulation. Keelan Robinson will spell Roschon Johnson. The 2 of them have combined for almost 190 yards on the ground with Bijan Robinson out for the season.
Took them a while, spinning their tires for a little bit in that first quarter. That really seems to be the difference in this game now, just how little that offense could muster.
Card, buying time. He'll use his feet. The savvy of Hudson Card, who last year came to Texas as the number 2 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school, behind only perhaps the Heisman favorite this year, Bryce Young of Alabama.
Remarkable restraint. This is good as a check down. Both these quarterbacks can hurt you with their feet. That was the deep developing shot they were looking for, and it's not there. You still pick up a first.
4.5 to play. Brewer, the tight end, motions. Keelan Robinson. To the 28. Taylor.
Back in there after some cramping, came to the sideline. They were stretching him out. He took a shot at pickle juice as he ran back there into the game, guys.
Keelan Robinson with the tried and true remedy of pickle juice, which, Anish, I can tell you from experience, works very well.
I've never actually tried it, but I take your word.
I know next week's open.
Robinson lined up at the bottom of your screen. Coming over on a drag route, juggled it, bobbled it, it's incomplete. Scotty Young in coverage. And Hudson Card limping at the end of that play.
And limping badly here. Sark may have to think about a timeout. You tell him to go down right now, give yourself a chance.
And Keelan Robinson was walking with a slight limp as well. 3 players for Texas.
Junior Angilau down the offensive lineman on a knee in the middle of the field.
Remember, Angilau last week got hurt in that 4th quarter against Kansas. Card is limping off. Robinson went to the sideline walking gingerly. 3:46 to go. Texas, tested by its depth, has the ball. Down 8. and 6 Texas. 3 players getting hurt on the last play for the Longhorns. Quarterback Hudson Card, Keelan Robinson, a running back, lined up at receiver, and then left guard Junior Aguilar.
All 3 going down now in a critical 3rd down.
New quarterback Casey Thompson hands it off to Roschon Johnson. He's lit up in the backfield. Alston and Stills get in the backfield. It's 4th down. Hayden Connor, the true freshman, comes in at guard.
And watch Stills on this play, taking advantage of that spot vacated. There's going to be a puller right here. The center, Jake Majors, is going to try and block back, and Stills going to beat him with speed up the field, pinning his ears back, knowing that group across from him struggling with communication, now faced with 4th in the game.
Thompson over the middle, intercepted. Sean Mahone with the takeaway. West Virginia came into the game last in the Big 12 with just 5 interceptions. Casey Thompson, who struggled in the first half, was benched at halftime. Coming off the bench, his 2nd snap, a pass attempt, and the safety Mahone gets his 2nd pick of the year and the 3rd of his career.
And look at Whittington and right up at the top of the screen here. The 2 wide receivers both breaking in the same area and both looking unsure who the ball is thrown to as it sails over there. Too many receivers close to each other on that play. You invite all those defensive backs to have a much easier job.
Now, as we saw last week,
Interception. After the interception, personal foul, legal arm, 68, offense, passing team, 15-yard penalty out of the end of the
a penalty on Texas after the pick. So West Virginia will move up 15 yards. As we saw last week, Texas still has 3 timeouts, so they can still get a stop and get the ball back. For West Virginia, get a couple of first downs, 2:51 to go. You got a chance to sing Country Roads on Senior Day.
And what a great feeling for this senior class after the season that you've had to keep bowl eligibility alive. West Virginia's made a bowl game 17 in the last 19 seasons. They are one of 15 Power 5 teams, and they got a chance to grind it out on the ground with Letty Brown.
And Letty Brown to the 46 of Texas.
Timeout, Texas, first of the half.
A career high in carries today for Brown. Sean Mahone, he's one of those seniors. Most experienced player on this defense, a staple at safety. A finalist for the Campbell Trophy, the academic Heisman. We get a timeout from Texas, 2:45 to go. It's been a trying season for both of these teams, both of these fan bases. If you're Jarret Doege and West Virginia. Now listen, the critics are still going to be out there. He's been a lightning rod this season. But he played well today. 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. Most importantly, he didn't turn the ball over. Texas without Bijan Robinson, coming off a gut-wrenching loss to Kansas at home last week. We wondered how they would respond. Down a couple of scores early, they did battle back.
Shows the belief in their head coach. Steve Sarkisian's had to deal with a lot of noise on the outside. That locker room stepped up and had his back today on the field.
2nd and 5, it's Brown. Looking for an exit route. And he gets a couple. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Clock still runs. It only stops when a player goes out of bounds until the official spots the ball.
And you see Parker Moore, backup offensive lineman, wearing number 99 to be eligible. Coming in, this is 4-down territory, Anish. You got 2 plays to get 2 yards in here and end the game on your terms.
Yep. Only once we go under 2 minutes, the clock stops when a player goes out of bounds. It's Brown again. He's been the bell cow. First down, Letty Brown.
He says, I'll do it in one.
153 yards on the ground for Leddie Brown. Philadelphia tough. The offense runs through him.
Ruling on the field as a first down.
Daigie got it started.
It's under further review.
But if coffee's for closers, Brown gets a venti in the second half.
He wants no cream. He wants no sugar.
Black. He wants it cold.
He's ready. Cold brew in the wintertime, all the time for Leddie Brown. What a performance by him to be able to put the hammer down. Complimentary football for this team.
They're going to review the spot. They will see the line to gain here. These plays normally are very tough to overturn. The last couple of weeks, Brown had been playing hurt, playing through an injury, and neither team feels sorry for the other. Texas has seen its depth ravaged. You heard the comments from Steve Sarkisian earlier this week. You heard the comments from the athletic director. Texas has lost almost half of its 2018 and 2019 recruiting class. Now the context there is that happens when you change your coach. West Virginia's been decimated with injuries this year as well, especially on the defensive side the last few weeks. Their starting cornerback, Nick Troy Fortune, is out. They're down 2 weak side linebackers. The depth in the secondary is taking a hit.
It's November in college football, Anish.
Right.
No one's walking into a game with the bodies they had at the beginning of the season, and if they are, they're likely one of the teams competing for a national championship. Everyone has got to find ways to overcome in these situations. West Virginia's been able to do that here.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
And no surprise there. Again, those plays incredibly difficult to overturn. First down, West Virginia, 1:59 to go. Now for the Mountaineers, Neal Brown has come under criticism and fire, especially locally. You win today, you get to 5-6. You end your season at Kansas. We know Kansas pushed Oklahoma. We know they beat Texas. That's a game you should win. It gets you to 6-6. You get the bowl game. You get the bowl practices that come with it. You can sell trust to the climb.
Add another quality recruiting class in here. All of this is a part of the plan for Neal Brown and this staff.
More of Leddie Brown into the embrace of Sweat, only a yard. We take a closer look at the offensive line for West Virginia with pocket protection brought to you by Nationwide as Texas calls a timeout.
This group stepped up big today, came into the game. The most sacked quarterback in the Big 12 was Jarret Doege. But they cleared space for him the entire day, and their quarterback responded with timely strikes and strikes in the red zone. Nearly perfect today down in the red area of the field. And you see it right there. Valued the football, converted inside the 20s. And that group up front had been challenged. We know this Texas pass rush on the other side had struggled all year long, but give credit to this offensive line that's developing with young parts in there. Zach Frazier, your leader, just a true sophomore. Wyatt Milam, they brought along here, now 5-6 starts into his career as a Mountaineer. They're trying to build this and build it up front with that group.
One thing to potentially file away before you start writing the eulogy for Texas. They have a timeout left. You get a stop here, and let's say you get West Virginia to punt. Texas has blocked 4 punts this season. West Virginia did have a punt blocked last week against Kansas State.
Nearly had one earlier. We had the running into the kicker penalty on a play that was very close for the Longhorns going after that football.
Leddie Brown, tackled by Ben Davis. Texas uses its final timeout, 90 seconds to go, 3rd and 9. The Mountaineers are the only team currently in the Big 12 that does not have a losing record against Texas, 5-5. They are one of 3 FBS teams that have played Texas at least 10 times and have a record of 500 or better. One of them is your alma mater, Notre Dame. The other one may surprise you. Vandy.
We need a good Commodores note this season. Need something to feel good about as Clark Lee starts to build the foundation for that program there. But a chance here too, Anish. We know what the future holds. Texas and Oklahoma at some point in the near future going to depart for the SEC. And so if you're West Virginia, try and go out here and cement a win and potentially have that stand for the near future and then.
3rd down and 8. Parker Moore, wearing number 99, comes in as an extra blocker. I would expect it's Letty Brown, and then you let the clock run down. Winston Wright in motion. Brown. He's going to be stopped. It's 4th down from just inside the 37. And West Virginia will let this thing run down about as far as they can. So Texas will get the ball back here, and let's see what West Virginia does.
1:23 and the 42nd play.
So Texas is going to get it back with about 40 seconds or so.
Some confusion with the clock right now with the
so
officials.
They put 1:23 on the clock.
Start on my signal.
And they're going to start the play clock on the official signal.
We've got the 25-second, or no, 40-second
it's a 40-second play clock. So you can let this thing run down. You can take a delay. And then we go into the punt game. You've got Sumter, the punter for West Virginia. He had a kick blocked last week that K-State recovered and returned for a touchdown. Texas enters the game with 4 blocked punts, tied for 1st in the nation. Nothing has come easy for either of these teams.
Timeout.
And now a timeout with 43 seconds.
Full timeout.
Interested why you didn't just take the delay there, let it back up. I guess you've got the time to set it up, but.
Here is what's ahead for you on this college football Saturday. Coming up on ESPN2, Virginia and Pittsburgh. Big ACC championship game, implications there in the coastal Cincinnati. They've been winning close the last month or so. They face an SMU team that can put up points. Former Oklahoma quarterback Tanner Mordecai leads the Mustangs. Oregon and Utah. The Ducks have been playing with fire of late as well. Utah's playing its best football of the season. A lot of folks see an upset in Salt Lake City.
It's a lot of pressure slowly starting to build on Utah. Your favorites here, everyone nationally has been pointing you out, as we've also got Virginia Pitt coming up in a little bit today. And we mentioned 2 of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, still waiting on Brennan Armstrong to see if he's going to be there. Missed Virginia's game against the Irish last week, but certainly can light up the scoreboard.
4th and 5, the offense comes back out on the field. What does this tell you? Maybe trying to draw Texas off sides?
I would imagine they either try and draw off sides or let Jarrett Doege pooch punt it so you don't have the punt block team out there.
Doege's going to throw it. Heaves it downfield. Incomplete. And Texas will take over at the 36-yard line. Help me understand that, Mike.
I can't, because I have no idea why you would run it in that situation there. Taking a shot at the end zone in a spot where you had a chance to pin them deep here before that.
You basically gifted Texas 16 free yards.
Easily.
And remember, both of Texas's touchdowns today have come on long plays. Keelan Robinson on the ground. Xavier Worthy 52 yards through the air. Casey Thompson in at quarterback. Texas out of timeouts. Down 8. Thompson under pressure. Throws it away before he goes down. 30 seconds to go. And now Thompson is down.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
It's been a quarterback shuffle for Texas. Thompson started, was ineffective in the first half. Hudson Card came off the bench, sparked Texas in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, Card got hurt on a play where 3 Longhorns went down. Thompson comes back in. 2 plays later, he throws an interception, and now Thompson is down. If Card can't go, and I do see Card warming up on the sideline, Texas would have to turn to Ben Ballard, a third-year quarterback who has not attempted a pass in his career.
When it rains, it pours for Texas, and we see Ballard over on the sideline getting loose as well. All of the bodies now out in critical situations. Remember, Anish, all those injuries you just described came on a critical third down for the Longhorns in West Virginia territory, and now on the last drive, you have an opportunity to tie this game. You see him holding that thumb that had been an issue for Casey Thompson in the last few games.
He hurt the thumb against Oklahoma. It impacted his play. Looked okay last week against Kansas when he accounted for 7 touchdowns. So Card will come back in. 2nd and 10. 30 seconds to go. No timeouts.
Only one rule for West Virginia on the back end: deeper than the deepest. Can't let anyone behind you.
Card over the middle, low throw, incomplete, 3rd down.
Ruling on the field, an incomplete pass, 3rd down.
Neil Brown's gamble, putting the ball in the hands and the game in the hands of his defense after going forward on a 4th and 5, where we remember they didn't take the delay of game and give themselves more room to punt it. Neil Brown, an analytically inclined head coach, went the most aggressive route possible. Could have just been a gut feeling saying, let's win it on our terms, and if not, we believe we've got a defense capable of clamping them down.
Card has time, pumps. Now he'll check down. Brewer's got to get out of bounds. He does. 4th down, 15 seconds to go.
And you see Card having a really hard time moving around, favoring that ankle that we saw him off on before.
This may be pitchy woo-woo.
Call Scott Van Pelt and the boys. Get him and Stanford Steve ready. Could be an adventure.
Here's the pressure. Card gets rid of it, incomplete. West Virginia, 10 seconds and a kneel down away from a win on Senior Day.
And who else but Dante Stills? Family such an integral part of this program. Father and his brother, both proud alums. And of course, a proud Fairmont Senior High School Polar Bear alum. As they continue to move along in the playoffs, West Virginia gets a chance now to continue to move towards that goal of 6 wins and a bowl berth.
Fairmont Senior winning last night against Robert Byrd. Victory formation. Doege takes the knee, lifts his arm up. They're going to sing Country Roads in Morgantown today. West Virginia gets to 5-6. If they beat Kansas on the road next week, the Mountaineers would be bowl eligible. The misery continues for Texas. 6 straight losses. The longest losing streak continues since 1956. And Texas guaranteed a losing season for the 5th time since 2010. Jarret Doege, 3 TD passes, 290 through the air. Leddie Brown, the bell cow. Let's get you up the road to Pittsburgh. Virginia's in town. Big ACC championship game implications in the Steel City.